appreciate all of you coming out for this solidarity march, because the only way we are going to get better in anything is together. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to introduce Bishop Lovelace.
This morning, as we are getting ready to march, let us remember the Floyd family, and let us remember all of the families of men and women whose lives have been taken unjustly, that they know that our march today is in memory and honoring their loved ones, but with a commitment that all of us make to see a change take place. It's got to happen. We don't need to be patient. We need to see change take place. It needs to happen. And in just a few moments, we'll be leaving this place and marching to the Shiloh Baptist Church. And as you enter those sacred grounds, as we go into those sacred grounds, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate respect, to demonstrate honor as we go into those sacred grounds, because it was 48 years ago that a young 15-year-old black male life was taken, was shot and killed in our city at the hands of white police officers. And when it happened, it shocked the whole community, stunned the whole community. And the very steps that you'll be standing in front of are the very steps in which we carried his body into that church to funeralize him. So let us, as we go there, have a renewed commitment that there would indeed be the echoing of the prophet Micah, in Micah 6 and 8, that God has shown us the way. He has shown us that there be justice and that we show kindness to one another. So that is what we're here for, and thank you all from the depths of our heart for standing with us, and the police chief and all of the officers, but for our community. The police chief and the officers are not a part of the community, they are in the community with us. They're not just separate from the community. So what we're doing today goes beyond our city. It goes and speaks to the nation, that we can see reconciliation come and reform and change come. So thank you all for being here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today is another day that we take to the streets, demanding justice and demanding change. And we have to do this together. We have to. So now we're just going to take a moment of silence in honor of George Floyd and other people who have lost their lives unjustly. If you're able, take a knee. We're taking a moment of silence, and we're in the sun, it's hot, but to think that a man lay, George Floyd, for almost 9 minutes. 9 minutes, he said. So today, we can sit for just one moment in remembrance of him, in honor of him and others. And when we rise, we're going to take a walk. We're taking to the streets as we should. So everybody, let's rise up.
I'm Pastor Trinity Missionary Baptist Church.
What brings you out here today? Why did you walk?
Hope for the future for our young black men.
Bill, stop that.
I didn't need it. I was ready. I didn't need it.
our young people, 20-something, 30-something, our older teens. We need you at the table. Your presence in all of the demonstrations and marches has been honorable. But there comes a time to where we need to sit down and look for solutions. Too often, the table has been surrounded with old gray-haired folk like me, and not enough young folk like you. Yet, you are the young people that are most impacted by incidents like this. We need you at the table. And if you never felt invited before, please forgive us for not making that invitation clear to you. We are inviting you now. We need you now. We need you going forward. Together, we build.
Thank you all for being here. As a black man, as a police officer, and as a human being, and somebody that loves being all of those. What I saw on the video, what we all saw in the video in Minneapolis with George Floyd was disgusting. And we're all here standing because it's not the first time something has happened like that. And we have to get to the root causes and change that. And I fully believe, and I believe that all of you believe, the only way we are going to get there is together. And the only way we're going to make a world better for people like my two teenage daughters is together. And to take a knee together, to decide together, to make decisions together, and to understand each other, else we are going to revisit this again in the future. So I'm glad all of you are here. I appreciate your presence today, and let's do and build together. And with that, I'd like to bring up Paris Dock.
Faith's not done yet.
I'm a little nervous right now. I prepared a little speech. I just want to say, okay. I just want to say, I thank everyone for coming. I want to acknowledge Impact SAC for acknowledging the young voices and just hearing us out. I came here today to talk about that we are tired of police brutality and racial discrimination. It's just the time, or it's time for us to make a change, and it's time for us to do something about it. We have been loud, we have been crying, we have been saying so many things, but have been dismissed. And this country just doesn't care, but we care. But we are loud, and we will not be silent. We will continue to be loud. We will continue to be loud. And even with all that we have gone through, we still are undefeated. It amazes me that we still are undefeated even with how much that we have gone through. And I just think that it is time for us to continue to speak up, continue to have our voices loud, and make a change, and come together as one, because that's what's important. And I think some people might forget that, but it is important for us to talk, to have these discussions, to talk about the issues on both sides, and to come together as one so that we can have peace. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm a mother of 3 black sons and a black husband. And when George Floyd said, "Mama," I became his mother in that moment. I became his mother. I became his daughter, his wife, his grandmother, his cousin. I became everything to him. No, we will not be stopped. And he is not with us. He is not with us. He's not with us. He is not with us. What's dangerous is this group right here, standing for justice together. This is what danger looks like. This right here. That right there, for division and destruction coming in the dangerous. This right here is dangerous. This is the threat right here that America doesn't want to see. Us coming together and us coming to the table and working on the solutions. Us recognizing that there is institutionalized racism in this system and that we lay that down and that we fight to disrupt that. That's what we come against. And we come against that in many different forms. Many different forms. There is a place for everything. There is a place and a time for us to take to the streets, and there is a time for us to take action. And right now is a time for us to take action and come to the table. Come to the table around solutions. And my time is up. God bless you all.
You guys excuse me, I'm a little nervous. I'm a mother.
Come on, you're great.
I'm a mother. I lost my son in 2016 to violence. I want to see a stop. I want to see a change where we all be able to come together. I am from Oak Park. I was born and raised here. I love the neighborhood and I love to see the change. I'm sorry, I can't talk.
You're doing good, sis. Take a deep breath.
You got this. I know. I'm sorry, you guys, okay? I can't.
All right, Sister Stephanie.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. I'm Dr. Nicole Clavo, and I asked Nikki to come back up here and stand with me because we're mothers in this together. We have both lost our children to murder. I lost my son in 2015 and she lost hers in 2016. We understand what that pain looks like. They may have not been murdered at the hands of the police, but they were murdered all the same. And we have to stand. So when we seen George Floyd, we're traumatized by it. The mothers I have spoke to in this city and outside of the city were traumatized by it because we all sat there and watched that video as a mother's son lost his life. As he took his last breath and he screamed for his mama. Well, I'm going to tell you, for the mothers here in the city, we all have had nightmares and wondered whether our children screamed for us. Having young men that were mama boys and loved their mothers and had much respect for their mothers, and to know that we were not able to be there and hold them and caress them and say goodbye as they left this earth. So when we seen that video, I'm gonna tell you, many of us are having sleepless nights. We're full of turmoil, hurt, and pain. So we ask you to not only continue to pray for George Floyd's family, but pray for all the mothers and fathers who have lost a child. Be it gun violence, be it by the hands of the police, or be it by the hands of other citizens in this city. We ask you to continue to lift George Floyd's family in prayer, and everyone else in our police department as well, because they need us. They need our support. Until we all come as one and be one and do together what we should be doing as citizens of this city, nothing will go right. Division will not help. So I ask you to say a prayer for every one of you out here. We're thankful that you came out today. It's hot, so I'm going to end my speech. But we love you, thank you, and keep us in prayer.
We're going to call up Bishop Parnell Lovelace, Center of Praise Ministries.
As we have come here again to these sacred grounds, we're reminded of the work that we must do. We're reminded of the lives that have been taken and the fear that is in the eyes and in the hearts of parents who have lost their children. Parents that are fearful that they will lose their children at the hands of an unjust system. We are called to do more past this moment. We're called to do, not just pray, but do the work that is required of us to go and to do the voting in November that will change the things that need to change in our country. And I call upon each and every one of you to remember George Floyd and to remember what he represents. Every time you speak his name, what's his name? 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 And to remember that Black Lives Matter. And we do the work that we're called to do as a community with solidarity, with one voice, that there would be change that would take place. It must not stop at this moment.
I want to tell y'all, I love Sacramento. I grew up in Sacramento. Matter of fact, I grew up in South Sac. I've been a coach in Sac, an athlete in Sac, a student in Sac, a business person, a pastor in Sac. I'm the chaplain for the Sacramento Kings. I love Sacramento. And Sacramento got a lot of work to do. If we're going to be a model city for ministry and a model city for taking care of our people, we got a lot of change to make because we haven't been taking care of our African American community. We got to create some justice. We've got to create some change. Chief Hunt, no, we're for Chief Hunt. We've been on Chief Hunt, but it ain't all up to him. But I'm gonna tell you this right now before my man with the mic, because we need the man with the microphone too, y'all. We need him too. I don't care which way we go. I don't care which way we go. Listen up, y'all. Don't mind that. I don't care if we build Sacramento up to a bigger, higher place, or if we burn this sucker down. All I know is we're gonna do it together. I'm out.
We have a living letter that we have prepared to send to the family of Brother George Floyd to show and represent our solidarity with the family on this difficult season. I'll begin reading, and then each of our speakers will take a portion of the same letter that will be sent to the family. The senseless killing of George Floyd grieves us all, and Sacramento stands with you in solidarity. Our deepest condolences go to your family. Sacramento grew in love and grief with George Floyd in the same instance. Many of us have watched the video over and over in disbelief, hoping and praying for a different outcome.
Our hearts shatter again and again as we think of George, what he did during the last moments of his precious life. Sacramento is brokenhearted, outraged, and sad. We apologize.
Sacramento learned that he was known as a gentle giant and called Floyd by those who loved him and knew him well. We know that he moved to Minneapolis for a fresh start with hopes of bettering his life.
That opportunity was ruthlessly taken from him. Sacramento knows that Floyd's had people's back, and he cared about those who were thrown away. He would have been a great fit for Sacramento, a city whose people are known for advocating on behalf of the marginalized. What Sacramento has learned about you, the Floyd family, is that you are united.
Your family has graciously shared your grief, anger, demanded for justice, and most importantly, your love for Floyd. Thank you. By sharing your grief, you help us grieve with you.
By sharing your anger, you show us your humility and great ability to communicate effectively. By demanding justice, you show resolve, and we stand with you in solidarity. By sharing your love for Floyd, we become more than another armed black man killed by police.
He became Floyd, a father, grandfather, and gentle giant, working at Conga Latin Bistro. By sharing your love for Floyd, we know he prayed. He prayed with his other half, Courtney, when times were good and when times were not. Now Sacramento prays for you. While Sacramento has come a long way with regards to community and law enforcement, there are important people and segments of our population who still feel unheard and unprotected.
There are still segments of the population who fear that they or their child or their family member may become the next unarmed black person killed by law enforcement. Standing with you in solidarity, we can commit to strengthening our efforts to engage young people and their voice so that they don't feel thrown away, as Floyd would say. Sacramento can commit to building a stronger future together where people feel protected the same way Floyd made your family feel. It is in this solidarity and sincerity that we stand with you.
We ask you, if you would like to be on this letter, be a part of this movement, be a part of this solidarity, we ask you, email us at solidarity247@gmail.com.
Again, we want to thank all of you for coming, young and older, young alike. We want to thank an important component of this effort will be our elected officials. We want to thank God for our Congress member, Dr. Army Bear, for being here. We want to thank God for our mayor being here, Mayor Darrell Steinberg, our city council being here, and also for our city manager, Howard Chan. We thank God for each of you. Let's all work together, because together, what's his name? George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! God bless you.
And that concludes the program. We truly appreciate everybody. Get home safe.